Well, the general election is coming up, folks. November 5th is right around the corner. It's barreling at us like a freight train. And if you're pro gun, you're pro Second Amendment, pro family, pro life, pro closed borders, pro not having your vote get watered down by criminal aliens, if you're pro conservative America, you're going to want to watch this video. I am Chris Dorr. I'm the director here for the Pennsylvania Firearms Association. And in this short video, I'm going to go over the two candidates running to be your next state representative from right there in House District 30. First of all, I'm going to talk about the Democrat incumbent, Arvind Venkat. And then I'm going to switch over and talk about Nathan Wolfe, the Republican challenger. And the reason why I'm going to start with Arvind Venkat is because he, as a Democrat incumbent, I'm going to write a little I right there next to his name. As the Democrat incumbent, we have actual votes that we can report on. So that's always a little bit easier for us to start off with. And the first thing I'm going to do after that is switch to my red pen here so that we can get started with him. So right out of the gate, the first question is, well, is he pro Second Amendment? And I'm going to give him a big fat red X for that, folks. And the reason why is simple. Arvind Venkat, as a Democrat incumbent representative, has a voting history of voting against your Second Amendment freedoms. And we'll start off with the first one, red flag gun confiscation. This bill that Arvind Venkat voted for is the destruction of due process rights for gun owners. It simply allows anybody to petition a judge to have your guns taken away from you without you ever being charged, tried, or convicted of a crime. At the hearing that you're not even allowed to be at to rebut the evidence being offered, at the hearing, somebody can introduce as evidence the fact that you recently acquired a firearm as a reason why you should have that firearm taken away. So literally, Arvind Venkat voted so that if you exercise your right, that's justification to take that right away from you. So he gets a great big fat red X for that one. Imagine if you're going through divorce or child custody court, and this, I mean, it's very easy for somebody to weaponize this against you in that process. It's been done before. It will be done many, many times in the future if it's allowed to pass here in Pennsylvania. Arvind Venkat voted for that garbage as a state representative. He also voted for universal gun registration. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke, back in the day when the Democrats used to hold primaries in order to select the Democrat nominee, they openly say now that they want national gun confiscation. They say it. Hell yes, we're going to take your guns, he said on the debate stage. The only way they can do that is if they know who owns what guns. And that's what Arvind Venkat's universal gun registration vote is all about. Universal gun registration, which he voted for, is the cornerstone of gun confiscation because it gives the state the power to track, trace, and register gun owners like we're some kind of sex offenders. And that is absolutely preposterous. So he voted for that. Again, we're talking about Arvind Venkat. He voted for that garbage as a state representative. That's why he gets another X on that. He also wants to ban AR-15s, but it doesn't stop there. He wants to ban all semi-automatic firearms. And for somebody who comes from Western Pennsylvania, I find that very preposterous. He wants to ban AR-15s, but he wants to ban Ruger 1022s, Glock 19s that everybody uses to defend themselves and their families against thugs on the street with. He wants to ban Remington 1187 12-gauge shotguns that so many people use for hunting. He wants a total ban on semi-automatic firearms. And that's what happens when you're an out-of-touch limousine liberal who has no clue what you're talking about. He wants to ban semi-automatic firearms, and that's just absolutely preposterous. He's all for mandatory gun lockups. Of course, Arvind Venkat, let's underline that one. They call them safe storage laws, but Kamala Harris herself said it on video. The whole purpose of this, and this is what Arvind Venkat wants for Pennsylvania, the whole purpose of these mandatory gun lockup laws is so that it gives the state the authority to invade the sanctity of your home. That's Kamala Harris's words, not mine. The state can invade the sanctity of your home to make sure you're storing your firearms in a way that they deem fit, that they approve of. This is the same party, mind you, and of course, Arvind Venkat didn't post any opposition to it when it happened. This is the same people that left billions of dollars worth of real weapons of war on the streets of Afghanistan, and their party sold machine guns to the Mexican drug cartels during Operation Fast and Furious that were then used to murder American citizens and Border Patrol agents. So, but they want to be able to come into your home and make sure that you're storing your firearms in a way that they deem safe. Absolute insanity. He also supports mandatory gun buybacks. This is the final straw in their gun control agenda. When they pass statewide gun confiscation, they want to be able to have a quid pro quo there. This is how they legitimize the theft. They come in and say, okay, we'll buy that Glock 19 back from you for $200. We'll buy that M4 that you put together. We'll give you $150 for that. And that's what mandatory gun buybacks are. They're done at the end of a gun barrel. You're forced to do it. And it's how they legitimize their tyranny. And keep in mind, of course, the dollars that they'll be using, the checks that they'll be stroking, they'll be your own tax dollars weaponized back against you. These things all collectively, okay, all of these positions by Arvind Venkat and these votes, vote here, vote there, all of these things collectively point to what I already said, okay? Very opposed to the Second Amendment. That's Arvind Venkat. So let's jump from Arvind over to Nathan Wolfe here. I'm going to change the color of my pen. Now, the thing about Nathan is, without him being a previous representative, we don't have vote history to go on here. So we can only go by what he's publicly said. But if you go on his Facebook page, he's all about the Second Amendment. He says he many times he refers to his anti-Second Amendment opponent. And that's a great thing. We want Republican candidates to not back down from publicly supporting the Second Amendment. If they're silent on the Second Amendment in today's day and age, well, like they say, silence is violence, and that would be a very bad thing. But most of the entire Western Pennsylvania contingent votes, Republican contingent, routinely votes pro Second Amendment. So I think Nathan Wolfe probably wouldn't be any exception to that. He's definitely made very good pro-gun statements on his website in favor of the Second Amendment, and we appreciate that. So, folks, we wanted you to know where these two candidates stand. I wish I had a little bit more information for you on Nathan Wolfe. However, Arvind Venkat has a huge and demonstrable record of assaulting your Second Amendment freedoms as an incumbent representative. He wants to get reelected, but that's the record that he's running on. I wanted you guys to know this information so that you guys can make your own decisions about who you think will best represent you at the Capitol in Harrisburg. Arvind Venkat with a huge record of gun control, or Nathan Wolfe with public statements of support for the Second Amendment? That choice is yours. But I'd ask you to do a couple things. Number one, please share this video with all of your pro-gun friends, family, loved ones, neighbors, coworkers, whatever, right there in House District 30 in Allegheny County. I'd sure appreciate it. We need to mobilize this gun vote in this election. There's studies that show there's over 500,000 gun owners and hunters here in Pennsylvania who don't even vote in the elections. We need to change that. We need them to know what's at stake. And I think you can see very clear differences here between Arvind Venkat and Nathan Wolfe. So please share this video with everybody you know. And last but not least, on November 5th, round up all those same friends, head down to the polls, and vote pro-gun.